Hi everyone. Thought I would take a little coffee walk today. We've been getting a few centimeters of snow here and there overnight. And today there's a nice little blanket. So I thought it would be a great day to come out and get some coffee. Oh, I see there's some rabbit tracks here. Just one solo bunny so far, it seems. But if we can see more than just him, I think I might set a few rabbit snares and try to catch a couple. Roasted bunny over fire is always good. So I'm walking down coyote tracks as well. They're everywhere back here. You hear them at night. They're just everywhere. Not that they bother me or anything, but they eat all the rabbits. So anyway, this is an old tree logging farming road, which goes back about a mile and a half. Then it branches off into five different other roads. So it gives quite a bit of trail that doesn't need to be broken, which makes it a lot easier to walk. But it sure is a beautiful day. It's so quiet. I like how the snow always muffles everything. Makes everything so much more quiet, peaceful. Okay, so I've seen what I presuming is a bunny trail. Yeah, he's only been by once, but by looking at the area and where he's passing, it's pretty sure that he passes more than once. I used to snare rabbits in my teen years, lots. So I think I'm going to take the time and set a snare right here, and hopefully come back to a bunny tomorrow. So I'll set this up and maybe show you guys the simplest, easiest way that I've been doing it. Everybody has their own way, but I guess if it works. You can see his little trail right there in between those there's a birch and an alder there, and I'm pretty sure he'll be passing there more. It looks pretty well that way. He came out from in there, and the same path is there too, so it looks like a pretty well-used path. It's just so much easier to see him with the snow. I prefer to set my snares with the snow. I guess it's a sure shot anyway, you know they're passing anyway. Okay, so here's like where the rabbit passes, right in between these branches here. So the first thing that I do is I get a branch. It doesn't have to be anything big. I usually just use a little piece of alder would do, maybe. Doesn't have to be anything too big. Just sharpen up the end. You got to stick this into the ground. You want to make sure that it's anchored well. So You pass this, right now I'm just going to pass it behind this birch tree and in front of some of the alders here. So after I stick this into the ground, it's not really going to go much anywhere. Just set that like so. Just a little branch going across like this. And you got to kind of judge for the rabbit's height. So he's, he's not running around too high. So you set it maybe, I don't know, that's maybe 10 inches or so, 8-10 inches off the ground, just to give him a chance to go under. Now I got a few rabbit snares here that I made up a while ago, and it's just a brass wire. So you take the rabbit snare here, and you gotta try to make a loop with it. Now, you tie a little loop into the snare and just twist that there to be able to pass your wire through, so you can make yourself a snare. So you just kind of judge on, how big the rabbit. I usually go with maybe 5 inches in diameter or so. It gives a good size for the rabbit to be able to fit through. Then you just twist this onto that branch that you put there. You try to get it on pretty good, because sometimes when they get caught in it, they do struggle, they do kick, they try to get the hell out of it. So try to get a few turns on that. Shape it up in a circle. Now, after you got that set, what I like to do is I gotta kind of think of getting the rabbit to pass into that snare. So what I like to do is take a few branches. It could be alders, it could be anything. I'm just using some tiny spruce branches here, and kind of make an obstacle here, which kind of makes him go into the snare. Just too much hassle for him to go around it or to jump over it, so he doesn't really see it there. He's just going to jump right into it. So take a few branches, shove them here and there. You see how that's kind of covering his, doesn't really want to jump over it, so he'll pass right into it. Maybe put another little piece right here. Yeah, that should be good. And I think I'll put a little piece right here too, just to not to give him the incentive to go around that. So it's pretty simple. Hopefully we'll have a bunny in there tomorrow. I haven't had fire cooked bunny for a while. I think it would be pretty good. Pretty tasty. So I'm just going to leave that like that. I usually, if I set a whole whack of them, I'll put little markers on a branch up there, a little red marker or something, just so I don't lose track of all the snares. But I'm just going to set a couple, and don't think that's necessary right now. Another coyote track. I've been following them maybe 300 yards, and it looks like another one right there. They've been out quite a bit last night, probably chasing rabbit. Quite busy. So I took a different road. I like to come here. In here, it's kind of open, but it's got a nice canopy on top. The sun still gets through, but it's very beautiful in here. The road splits off into 3 different spots here. The trail can go down this way, straight ahead, or this way. I like to stop right here, right in the crossroads, and have my coffee. It's just a nice place to sit and relax. The road to my right here, it just basically goes back to where I started from, in the backyard at home. It's just a different way of getting there. It's a lot more grown in, trees blown over in the road, so it's just easier to take the road that I came in on. And the road in front of me ends up a dead end, maybe a 1/4 mile down that way where they stop cutting. And this road probably goes down 2.5 miles to a pretty large brook. And I've never fished it, but it looks like a really good fishing brook, so I think I might hit that up in the spring. But for now, just gonna set up a little spot to have a fire here and heat up some coffee and enjoy a bit of time out here. Just found this big yellow birch, and what I like to do is to take these little paper thin slivers off from the bark and make a little bird's nest out of it. This stuff goes up very fast with the farrow, so when I see it around, it's usually what I try to get as a first tinder. It takes a little while to gather it, but it's well worth it. It takes a spark like crazy. I just came across this little dead standing white birch, and I like to gather a bit of this bark too, just to ignite from the yellow birch that I just collected. I don't need too much. Got a rock here that I usually use just to set my little stove on. Just makes it more stable. What I use for one of the stoves that I use is made from an IKEA utensil holder. I mean, we've all seen these. I like it. It works very well. It's easy to get a fire going with it. Kind of looks like the Pathfinder. But, I mean, for $1.50, who could go wrong? And I just got a couple of tent pegs that I slide through here. So I usually just stuff a bit of this bark on the bottom. Just helps to get it going. So much easier. Get a few little strips. I just take the yellow birch that I gathered, kind of make little bird's nest with it, kind of something like that, and just set it amongst the white birch, cover it up a little bit, those few of those little strips. And we're ready for some twigs. So the coffee that I'm going to drink today, we got as a donation this year's Nova Scotia Bushcraft Gathering we had in Windsor. We've got a donation from these Jiva Coffee Cubes. They're maybe 1.5 inches by 1 inch by 1/2 inch big. They come in all kinds of different flavors: plain, unsweetened, mocha, French vanilla, hazelnut, all that good stuff. Mr. Rob Young, who's on our NSB Association committee, had contacted these guys. They were nice enough to send up quite a bunch for us to give a try. So if you're interested in trying these, I know you can find them on Amazon. I'm not sure how expensive they are, but they're worth a try. It's very easy to carry. So Here's a closer look. I'm going to get this going, and I'll give it a test out. Oh, nice. Perfect. So these cubes take, I don't know, a minute or so, I guess, for them to dissolve. So if you just let it sit there for a little bit and give it a little bit of time, it'll start to dissolve. And then you just got to give it a few little stirs, and it's good to go. It's not bad if you like black coffee to drink it just like that. I find some of them are sweet. Even the unsweetened regular is kind of sweet. I'm just getting used to drinking my coffee black, so this is perfect. Perfect black. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I think it's completely dissolved now. It takes a little over a minute. Perfect. Hazelnut. Very good. Very good on the day. So I'm going to finish this up and pack up, have a slow walk back home, enjoy the rest of the hike as I can. Thanks for watching. This is Lawrence at Nova Scotia Bushcraft, and hope to see you again.